Hey friend, welcome back to the Gentle Reset, your no judgment zone for creating a home that actually works for you. I'm Allison, ADHD home and systems coach, former occupational therapist, and mom of two, and I'm so glad you're here. Last week in episode 37, I gave you a behind the scenes look at my own home, what I keep up with, what I don't, and what real life actually looks like day to day. Today, we're talking about how burnout and your home are more connected than you might think. Because when your energy is low and life feels full, your home is usually the first place it shows up. If you've ever felt like your home is harder to keep up with lately, or like things are piling up faster than you can manage, then this episode is for you. Here's your weekly 3, a mind hack, a home hack, and a personal highlight to help your home feel lighter, more functional, and easier to maintain. Hey, and real quick, if you're enjoying this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you left a quick rating or review. This helps more ADHD women find this kind of support too. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going to walk you through why things feel harder to keep up with right now, what actually helps during a full season of life, and one simple way to get started without trying to do everything. And don't forget to hit follow now so you don't miss next week's episode. I'm walking you through exactly how to reset one clutter hotspot in just 5 minutes. Let's jump in. Here's the mindset shift I want you to hear today. If your home feels harder to keep up with lately, it's probably not about how you're managing your home. It's because your capacity is lower right now. And this time of year can make it feel even harder. May is a really full month, especially as a mom. You've got Mother's Day, teachers' gifts, end of school events, sports wrapping up. There's just a lot going on all at once. So if you're feeling more burned out right now, or you're feeling more burned out than usual, that makes sense. Energy is low and mental load is high. There's just a lot to remember and keep up with. And for ADHD brains, that mental load makes it even harder to make decisions and follow through. And home tasks like laundry, dishes, or vacuuming are usually the first things to follow behind. Not because they don't matter and not because you're lazy, but because your brain is prioritizing everything else. And this is something I see all the time in ADHD homes. Things don't pile up because you're not trying, they pile up because your energy is going somewhere else. So if you're not sure where to start, I have a 5 sneaky clutter hotspots checklist that walks you through the most common places things pile up. So you can just pick one and start there. I'll link it for you in the show notes. So instead of trying to catch up on everything, I want you to try this. Pick one small reset you can do in just 5 to 10 minutes. Not your whole house, not even a whole room. Just one small space, a clutter hotspot, a surface, a pile, one space that's been bothering you. Set a timer, reset that one spot, and let that be enough for today. Because when you're in a really full season of life, trying to do everything usually leads to doing nothing. But one small reset, that's something you can come back to. And starting small like this builds momentum and confidence to do it again. This is something I focus on a lot with my ADHD clients, not doing more, but figuring out what actually makes sense to keep up with right now. And if you're listening to this and thinking, I need help figuring out what to focus on in my home right now, that's exactly what I help with inside the Home Rhythm Reset. We focus on simple home task rhythms, what actually makes sense for your energy, both physically and mentally, so you're not trying to keep up with everything all at once. You can get started by scheduling a free curiosity call through the link in the show notes. And this reminds me of a client I worked with who was feeling really overwhelmed, not just in her home, but even in her car. She travels a lot for work, and her car had basically turned into a storage space for everything. And at home, she had a lot of those same patterns, doom piles, especially with papers in the kitchen. But instead of trying to tackle everything at once, we focused on her home tasks first. We looked at what actually made sense for her energy, both physically and mentally. Things like sorting mail, doing dishes, and taking out the trash were lower effort, so those became her starting points. And things like vacuuming, that was higher effort. So we intentionally deprioritized it without guilt. We also used a timer, which worked really well for her, because otherwise she'd get distracted and jump from one thing to another. And from there, she started to build momentum. She even ended up cleaning out and organizing her car, which had felt really overwhelming before. She shared, "Allison was fabulous. My time spent with Allison was highly valuable. She took a personal interest in my situation and matched her expertise with empathy in figuring out plans to execute a more functional and enjoyable home. And this is what it can look like, not doing everything, but focusing on what actually makes sense right now and building from there." So here's what I want you to remember today. Your home reflects what you have the time and energy for right now. You don't have to catch up on everything at once, and one small reset is enough to get started. Well, that's it for today, friend. Thank you for being here and spending time with me today. And if you're not already following the podcast, make sure you hit follow now so you don't miss future episodes like this. If you've been listening for a while, I'd love it if you left a quick review or shared it with a friend. It helps more ADHD women find this kind of support too. Remember, one small shift at a time creates momentum. You're doing better than you think, and I'm so proud of you. See you next week on The Gentle Reset for another weekly 3.